Good morning, student. Today I am going to talk about class 10 geography chapter first, resources and development. Student, resources and development. In resources and development, I want to explain you about firstly about the definition of resources and development. Everything found in our environment can be used to satisfy our need, provided it is technologically accessible, economically feasible, and culturally acceptable, is called resources. Student, I want to explain it by this figure also. We have enough sources on our natural environment or physical environment, or we can say that in our country enough types of sources are available, but resources can be moved around human beings. Sources can be moved around human beings. I like human here in center. We have physical environment for any source and technology that used by any institution that can be from these sources for the benefits and needs of human beings. That is called resources. It means I want to say something in Hindi. Student, हमारे पास जो भी सोर्सेस अवेलेबल हैं, जैसे फिजिकल इन्वायरमेंट में कोई सोर्स अवेलेबल है, वो ह्यूमन बीइंग के इर्द गिर्द ही चलता है. तो जो भी रिसोर्सेस अवेलेबल हैं वो किसी इंस्टीट्यूशन के द्वारा, वो जो है गवर्नमेंट हो सकता है इंस्टीट्यूशन, या प्राइवेट सेक्टर हो सकता है, गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर प्राइवेट सेक्टर दोनों, जिसके द्वारा उस जो है इंस्टीट्यूशन के द्वारा टेक्नोलॉजी यूज करके उस सोर्स को जो है ह्यूमन बीइंग के नीड को सेटिस्फाई करने के लिए यूज किया जाता है. वो जो सेटिस्फाई करने के लिए जो सोर्स यूज किया जाता है उसी को जो है हम जो है रिसोर्स कहते हैं. एज लाइक इफ वी हैव इनफ टाइप्स ऑफ सोर्सेज that can be satisfy the needs of human being, we cannot say that is a resource. If any source that usable for human being and satisfy the needs of human being, this is known as resources. Here I want to classify these resources also. Student, we have enough type of resources available on our physical environment or in our environment or on the ground, that can be classified on various way, as like basis of origin, on basis of exhaustibility, on the basis of ownership, and on the basis of status. But all these resources are divided or classified here. Firstly I want to show the basis of origin. Student, you have already know about the living and non-living things. That is go around that things. Here the basis of origin divided into two parts. First, biotic resources, and second, abiotic resources. The biotic resources are those resources that available on our earth in the form of human beings, flora and fauna, and in the form of some other as like livestock and so on. These types of resources that can be classified as living beings, as a living being, that is called biotic resources. And the abiotic resources, second types on the basis of origin. Abiotic resources are those resources that available on the ground in the form of non-living things. In the form of non-living things, that is called abiotic resources. All things as like forest, as like plain, plateau, region, hills, that are all available on ground in the form of non-living thing, this is called abiotic resources. And on the basis of exhaustibility, the resources classified on the basis of exhaustibility, it is divided into two parts. It is divided into two parts. As you know, this is renewable resource and this is not non-renewable resources. Classified on the exhaustibility, it is two parts. First, renewable resources. Student, as you know, this is renewable, and the name of renewable resources, the resources, those resources that can be renewed after one use. Any resource that can be renewed after one use, that is called renewable resources. As like wind, water, sunlight, that available on ground enough quantity, that cannot be just one use. It means we can use these types of resources already in future and in a present time also, and that cannot be just because this is available on our earth enough. And second, non-renewable resources. Non-renewable resources, student, non-renewable resources, as the name of non-renewable, it cannot be renewed. If we use these types of resources, this is very small quantity. So one limited quantity, we can say that limited quantity, and after this use, this limited quantity one day exhaust. It means it is exhaustible or non-renew. If we use these types of resources, these resources can be exhaust after one use. So we can say that these resources are non-renewable resources, and like we have enough types of minerals available on our ground and many types of fossil fuel available on our ground that can not be renewed after one use. This is included in non-renewable resources. Student, third, on the basis of ownership. On the basis of ownership, it is also divided into four parts. This is also divided into four parts. So first, individual, second, communities, third, national, and fourth, international. In individual community, as the name of individual, any resource that is a individual person, that is the resource of a individual person, that is called individual resources. As like many individual resources available for many purpose on every body house, as like their own house, their own ground, their own pasture land, their own bike, their own cars, that individual, these individual resources included in these types of resources. And second, community resources. As like the name of community resources, any resources that can be used for a individual community, that can be used by a individual community, that is called community resources. Many types of community resources available, as like playground, as like grazing ground, as like we can say that as like burial ground, as like some all things, as like some other ground, playground, that's all community resources. And next, national resources. National resources are those resources that is owned by a national or a nation or a country, that is known as national resources. I have to explain it also. Any cast line up to 19.2 kilometer from cast line of any country in oceans also included in national resources. Any I have to explain it in Hindi also. Any resources, कोई ऐसा रिसोर्स है जो कि कास्ट लाइन से 19.2 किलोमीटर तक का जो होता है रिसोर्स, किसी भी जो है नेशन का जो कास्ट लाइन है उससे 19.2 किलोमीटर ओशन से या सी में भी अगर कोई रिसोर्स अवेलेबल है तो नेशनल रिसोर्स में आता है. एंड आई वांट टू एक्सप्लेन अबाउट द एग्जांपल एज लाइक रोडवेज, railways and some other things as like forest resources, livestock that available in forest resources, wildlife that is available in any forest, that is included in national resources. And last, international resources. International resources are those resources which out of any nation, that is not commanded by or owned by any nation, it is owned by international. It means as like oceans, as like sea, that is owned by a international group, that is called international language. As like our seas, our oceans, that is used for the sea route for economic zones, that is called international resources, and that is the example of international resources. And last, on the basis of status, it is divided into four part. First, potential. Second, developed. Third, stock. And fourth, reserved. It is four part. Potential resources, potential resources are those resources. Potential resources are those resources that are available in any particular region, but we have not enough technology that we can use it for present time and in future also. That is called potential resources. For example, in Rajasthan and Gujarat region, enough quantity of sunlight and wind energy available, but we have not enough technology that we can use such types of resources like solar energy or wind energy. So that is called potential resources. And next, developed resources. Developed resources are those resources, student. Developed resources are those resources that is available in enough quantity, and that is surveyed and quantified also. Enough quantity and that we surveyed and quantified also, but we have not any technology. That can be exhaust and used. So that is developed. Under developed, we have not any technology, because they can be surveyed and they quantified also. For the example of Ladakh region. In Ladakh region, enough quantity of anthracite types coal is available, but Indian government have not any technology that can be that can be extract such types of resource, anthracite coal from ground. So that is included in developed. There is stock resources. Stock resources are those resources that is available in our environment in enough quantity. But we have not any technology. Technology that can be used for us and in future also. For example, student, you know that water is formed by hydrogen and oxygen, and in our environment water is available enough, and as like oceans or sea, water is also available enough, but we have not any technology that we can transform the oxygen and hydrogen from that sea water or ocean water. So the sea water or water are stock resources, and reserve resources are those resources that can be used by human body, but we save that resources for our future generation. As like river water have enough in India that can be used as hydroelectricity, farm hydroelectricity by farming dams, and forest resources also can be used. But uh, as like I say you, the government protect that types of resources for our future generation, that is reserve resources. Student, I want to explain this in few word in Hindi also. पोटेंशियल रिसोर्सेज जो है स्टूडेंट एक पार्टिकुलर रीजन में पाए जाते हैं, जैसे गुजरात और राजस्थान रीजन में जो है विंड एनर्जी और सोलर एनर्जी का पाया जाना, लेकिन पर्याप्त मात्रा में होने के बावजूद भी वहाँ इस रिसोर्स का यूज नहीं हो पा रहा है। उसका रीजन ये है कि हमारे पास टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलप नहीं है। सेकेंड, जो डेवलप्ड रिसोर्सेज हैं, डेवलप्ड रिसोर्सेज को सर्वे कर लिया गया है, क्वान्टिफाइड कर लिया गया है कि इतनी क्वांटिटी में अवेलेबल है, और उस सर्वे से जो है वहाँ पता चला है कि हाँ, लेकिन हमारे पास टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं है। जैसा कि मैंने आप लोगों को बताया कि लद्दाख रीजन में एंथ्रेसाइट सबसे गुड क्वालिटी का कोल होता है, अवेलेबल है, लेकिन इंडियन गवर्नमेंट के पास टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं है कि लद्दाख रीजन से उसको निकाल सके। इसी तरह जो है यह स्टॉक रिसोर्सेज जो होते हैं वो इन्वायरमेंट में पर्याप्त मात्रा में अवेलेबल, जैसे मैंने बताया सी वाटर, ओशन वाटर, लेकिन हमारे पास कोई टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं है कि सी वाटर या ओशन वाटर को ट्रांसफॉर्म करके हाइड्रोजन और ऑक्सीजन में कन्वर्ट कर दें, जिससे कि हमें हाइड्रोजन और ऑक्सीजन की क्वांटिटी, पर्याप्त क्वांटिटी मिल सके। उसी तरह जो रिजर्व रिसोर्सेज है उनको रिजर्व रखा गया, सुरक्षित रखा गया है कि आने वाले फ्यूचर में भी उन्हें जो है आने वाला फ्यूचर यूज कर सके। जैसे हमने बताया रिजर्व जो रिवर हैं उनके वाटर को डैम बना करके रोका जा सकता है और उससे हाइड्रो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बनाया जा सकता है, लेकिन उसे जो है फ्यूचर जनरेशन के लिए रखा गया है, इसलिए उसको जो है हम जो है रिजर्व रिसोर्स कहते हैं। स्टूडेंट, दैट्स ऑल, एंड नेक्स्ट वीडियो आई प्रोवाइड यू आफ्टर सम टाइम। थैंक्स।